Hey guys, welcome to Kaskaskia River Outdoors. So recently Randy and I got back from a hog hunting trip in southern Georgia. This trip was, for the most part, all self-guided and on public land. This trip was also after the Georgia deer season had ended, so we couldn't use big game rifles on public land to hunt hogs. We had to use what was in season, which small game was in season, so we had to use small game rifles to hunt hogs. We could also use bows too. So before this trip, we got ready by, we got the bows tuned up. They were mainly tuned up from deer season already here in Illinois. And we got the 17 HMRs sighted in, which is mainly what we used to hunt with during the week. So we got that all set up, and then we traveled down on a Friday and got there late Friday evening and then hunted Saturday morning. Alright, so it's like 6:15 right now, January 15th, and we're just getting ready. We're going to go meet Tyler at the boat ramp. His boat kind of quit working last night, so we're just going to go out on foot this morning. But yeah, we're going to eat some breakfast, then get going. But don't know what to expect today, but hopefully we'll learn a little bit today to move forward throughout the rest of the next week. But yeah. So after day one, we learned a couple things. Tyler told us kind of what we were looking for, where we could go, and he said you mainly want to stay near water. So we were going to focus near water, and we're looking for signs of rooting, pigs digging up the ground, breaking branches and whatnot. And we're looking for a herd animal. So we're looking for pockets of really fresh sign. So our game plan was to cover a lot of ground, still hunting, try to find a bunch of sign in one area, and hopefully pigs would be nearby bedded. We were working with a full moon. Some people go back and forth on what that does to animals. Personally, I think animals move a lot more at night. I don't know how it affects pigs. So we were looking for bedded animals mainly, looking in palmettos and stuff. So we were just covering a bunch of ground. So that's what we set out to do in the rest of our days.
Alright, so it's day 3. We came back to a spot that we hit yesterday at midday. We found some pretty good sign right along the edge of where the river flooded out into the woods. Found some sign right along the edge. What we think is happening is they're coming down in the morning. So we're back here this morning, hoping to catch them while they're down by the water's edge.
That's a working theory. This is the most sign we've found so far, but we think in one area, but we think it's pretty fresh. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell in this sand, but we think it's real fresh. You can still kind of smell that it's like, you can smell dirt, like it's just been turned up. But we haven't seen any hogs yet, but hopefully we're close. So by day 3, we had kind of isolated the sign we were finding to one ridge. And this ridge ran for, I think it was like 2.5 miles long from where we'd park. And there was an access road on either side of this ridge with crossing access roads going across the ridge. And there was water on one side of it and more palmettos on the other side. And the ridge in the middle is where we were finding most of our rooting sign and stuff like that, where the hogs were feeding. So we were basically just covering ground, slowly working up and down this ridge and getting into good sign, but we just couldn't find hogs. So at the end of day 3, we were more hopeful than we had been, but we still couldn't find a hog. So on day 4 we got in early and we set up on the sign we saw the day prior, and it was the freshest sign we had, so we figured it might be worth a shot to set up on it at first light. So we did for a little while, but never saw anything, so we moved on and walked around for the majority of the rest of the morning, covering quite a bit of ground, going in as deep as we could. And we were hunting our way back to the truck, and in this certain grove of palmettos that we later noticed on the map as like a bowl, we jumped a pig.
Unclipped, it's unclipped.
Where's he at?
Dude, he was by that tree right there.
He's still over there.
Let's stay calm, stay calm. Dude, I just saw the first hog and he was 10 yards away.
And then several other pigs ran out of that area. We circled around, but we didn't know where they were or anything like that. So we decided to back out for that day and not completely ruin the spot, because we knew we had one more day on day 5 to go back in. So we marked that spot and we're ready to come back in early on day 5.
So it's day 5. We've been like slowly getting better and better. Persistence paid off. Yesterday we finally found one, and they're kind of way back in the property. We've been hunting the front, seeing lots of old sign and stuff where they were, but you know, we think we found them back. So and we can't quite drive back there, so it's like a 2-mile just sprint to the back of the woods and try to hunt them back there. Today's the last day, so the pressure's on. Hopefully we can get something done. You can hear me grunt. Do you hear that?
You're a grunt.
Yeah. Pretty young, what it sounds like. They're up in there running around.
So we jumped a couple hogs, and now we're kind of on a V where the road comes together, looking down both sides, just waiting for them to come out. We went back and got on a different walking path so that we can sneak up real quiet, but we can hear them down in that, little ravine. So
there's some nice eater-sized ones down there squealing.
they're still in there, and we're trying to cover their exits in 2 different spots. We're trying to flush them out. They just ran out. Randy just yelled, "Let's go." He shot twice. I have no idea what happened down there. I just heard him run out, and I heard 2 shots from Randy. Randy, what? Where you at? You get one? Woo! Go! Woo! Oh, that's okay.
A little guy. He's just a little guy.
Hey, we shot a pig.
Dude,
It worked like 20 miles for that pig, but
that's gonna be a nice little crock pot pig. But like, dude, they were kicking around in there, and you were throwing stuff. I was like, dude, I think this is gonna work, because they were like stirring around, like running in circles. 15 yards in front of me. And I was like, oh, they're right there. They're gonna show, like they're gonna poke their head out, and I'm gonna drop one. And then then I realized he threw one more thing. I was like, they're gonna come running across the road. And I was like, lined up, was like, it's now or never. They're running across the road. I'm not gonna get another shot.
we got it done last minute, last day. It's kind of a cool way to do it. So now we gotta, hey, you might want that. So now we gotta walk about 2 miles out, but the walk out will feel great, even though it's just a small one, but it is a hog. It's one less hog in the world, so